Alright, we're back here. Going to do the elimination method again. But this one's going to be a little different. This is example 3, and we have questions like this that come up that are going to have to change a little bit. As we know, elimination method, usually when we see is we have one side is going to be positive and one side is going to be negative when it comes to canceling out. So in previous examples, we had like a positive 2x canceled out with a negative 2x, and we were able to eliminate. Well, here we see we have a 2 and a 3, which those won't eliminate, but we have an x and an x here. But they're both positive. They wouldn't eliminate each other unless one of them was negative. So when you have a case like this, you need to multiply one whole equation probably by a negative here, so we can get this to be a negative. Now, if you multiply the whole thing by a negative, it's going to change all the signs, but that's okay as long as we get this to be a negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first one and we're going to write it out. X minus 2y equals negative 9. And then we're going to multiply this equation by negative 1, because that's going to change that x. Negative 1 times x gives us a negative x. Negative 1 times 3y gives us a negative 3y. Negative 1 times 16 gives us a negative 16. So now we can see we can use the elimination method. Do you see why we use that? Why we did that? To make this a negative so we can cancel out and we can eliminate out. So now we can draw a line. Well, we know that this is going to cancel out. It's going to be gone. That's good. Negative 2y minus 3y is going to give us a negative 5y. And then negative 9 combined with a negative 16 is going to be a negative 25. This process right there, that is tricky for people to see, so make sure you take a good look at it. And we'll do another example later, but let me go ahead and finish this problem out. So negative 5, so we're going to know we're going to divide both sides by negative 5, and we're going to get y equals a positive 5. Okay. Now we're going to go back to one of these two original terms, the originals, and we're going to plug in 5 for our y. So let's use the one that we didn't mess with. So we're going to plug in for this equation here. So we're going to come down here. We're going to say x minus 2 times 5 equals a negative 9. Again, we just use the same thing we use here. It came from up top, our original term. So 2 times 5 would be x minus 10 equals negative 9. We've got to get rid of this negative 10, so we're going to add 10 to both sides. X equals negative 9, positive 10 gives us a positive 1. So our answer, if we write it, it's going to be 1, 5. And that would be our answer. I'm going to do another one with the elimination method and dealing with having to multiply again. I want you to take another good look at the next example.